Hi, good morning. It's October 25th, 2022. Started off the day with a look at the river. We are still running from where we were yesterday, which is good. Not a lot of production, but we're still putting out some kilowatts, which is always a plus. Swing you around here. Get you a shot of downstream. You can see the rocks down here at the base of the, basically it's the foundation of the powerhouse. They're still above water. Water usually laps over the top of those, so we're low yet, but you know, it is that time of the year. One of the young roosters standing there checking us out and seeing what's going on. He just got beat up by one of the other ones, so roosters are roosters. They'll do what they do. There's the one that I like the most. He's just a pretty rooster. That one going in there by the turkeys there. He's the main one. So he's earning himself a trip to freezer camp real quick. So it will be probably that one in there and the red will both be off to freezer camp when we do the turkeys in a couple weeks. Even though the darker one, not the red, but the darker of the I believe he's an Easter egger. He does crow, so that's a plus. We like that, but he's also mean, so we don't put up with mean chickens. Get you a look here. The falls. This is the pool underneath that other falls. Foggy this morning, but it's 57 degrees, so it's really unusual. See, the chickens have been up in here, scratching around. He's making a lot of noise for a young rooster. We're just kind of moseying around a little bit, checking things out, looking things over. Hadn't walked up this way in a while, so I thought I'd do that this morning. Been up in here scratching too. Huh. Chickens do get around, that's for sure. As damp as it is, I'm not gonna venture that way, but I'm down on the rocks today. They're gonna be a little slippery, so we're not running out there. Not taking that kind of a chance. I had to get you look upstream here a little bit through some of the foliage. Perfect time of the year. funny, this little bit of firewood here. I mean, it's not great firewood. But it's still would burn. I've offered this to numerous people. Just come down here and cut. This has been on the ground for a year, and so it's aged, it's dried. All you've got to do is come cut it up and haul it away. You can have all of it you want. You can't find anybody who even wants it. You can find a lot of people that if it was all cut up, they'll come over and take it away. But if it requires them to have to do a little bit of work to it, they're not really interested in it. Strange. Then April will roll around and they'll all be begging for firewood because they'll be running out. And they'll say, is any of that stuff close so we can get it? And I'll say, well, it's all buried under the snow. I am probably not going to be building up here. Simply because of my health, so I don't think I could do it, and I don't want to be midstream and have a problem and have it set. So we're just not going to do that. What I'll probably do is get a camper or maybe a tiny house, just one of those sheds they bring in, and you make a little house out of it. I'll probably do that, and then I put a little fireplace, a little stove in it, and I will pick all that firewood up and sit in that little cabin when it's a few days a year, maybe just go in, go out. Got a log down here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it turned a little bit more. In the river. There it is. Well, that came over the top of the dam at some point. Probably when the flashboards were gone. That's the kind of thing that takes the flashboards out when it comes rushing down the river. But as you see, that is a cut log. So at some point in time, that has fallen into the river from somewhere and made its way all the way down here. We're stuck in these rocks. Come spring, it won't be sitting there. It'll be gone. We check on our discharge. See, that's working just perfectly fine. That is providing all of the flow for, most of the flow for the water going over the top of the waterfalls. You can see we have leakage, and you always will. These are just wood, It's at one point in time somebody put plastic across that. I don't know if it's worth that doing that, because I don't believe you're going to gain that much in the way of kilowatts to justify the expense of the plastic. You can see we're skimming a little bit of water there, and that's just perfect. As we skim that, it takes the leaves off the top. Helps with not getting it all in the into the racks, so we clog all that up. We're gonna have to do some more work with our spillway here, our vent tube. In here somewhere is a ground hornet's nest that was active earlier this year. I don't see any now, but this is all fill. So old photos that I've got of the intake here shows all that above ground, way above ground, sticking way up high. And so they filled over the top of that, and they used just crap. So it's crappy material. It's very holey. Things aren't packed well. So we're trying to clear it out a little bit. Got a nice big log in there that will have to come out at some point. We'll probably do a shutdown at some point, push that back out, get it so that it goes over the top of the dam. I don't know if you saw that log down there. You can just make it out right there, going across. At least the deer's gone. That is a big plus. There's another log behind it. You get that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that creates a havoc and a problem. So, we'll have to work on getting that out of there. And we'll push it to the edge and get it over the top of the dam, and it's really not a big deal. It's fairly easy when the water's high, so it's just a matter of shutting down and pushing it out. The rack looks pretty clean at this point, and that's a good thing. We like it to stay that way. One of the things I need to do is I need to get this area through here where this riprap is, get it cleaned up a little bit. So I'll probably work on that here in a bit. Just get in there with the nippers and nip everything out of there. And I could actually take the chainsaw and probably whack most of that down, but there's lots of rocks that I don't want to ruin the bar or the chain. So we just do that. That tree needs to go out of there. Simply because this is the steel plate here. Gets craned over to the front of the intake itself. It sits in its own little block, and that blocks the water going into the intake, so we can dewater the intake itself. We can dewater the plant by the head gate, but we also every once in a while need to dewater to do gate maintenance and rack maintenance and that kind of stuff. So that gives that opportunity there. One of the conditions of our relicensing is we have to put a overlay net rack, basically a rack that's 1 inch square, down over the top of our intake. It's spaced at 2 inch. So we have to put that on there. And that is the idea of that, is simply to prevent smaller fish from getting sucked down the intake tube. And then going through the turbine, which would be devastating to small fish. But I don't know how we're going to get that in and out. One of the things that we'll have to do is we'll have to pull it out this time of year. and put it in, around the 1st of April whenever we can get it in. But I don't know how we're going to do that, because things are going to have to be 10 feet wide, 12 feet long. I'm not going to be able to pick it up out of there. So we'll have to put in some kind of a craning system or a winch system or something to pull that overlay up. When that happens, it will require more raking, more cleaning out of the racks. That's what we mean by raking. Simply because it ain't gonna let any leaf litter or debris go through, and when the weeds start coming down, that will be the end of that rack. It'll clog it right up. We won't get any water through it. So we need to continue to work on that. Still haven't finished up on the shed yet. I need to get that done too. I got a list that somebody's going to have to get with the program and start getting this stuff done. I guess I better start feeling better to get some of this done. Water's running really great out of the spring. Over there, you can see it. The yellow poles are that you see are our snow poles. That's as far back as I can push the snow without getting into the stream. I don't even get close to that. I usually just get over a little bit, enough to make sure that there's opening and we can get in and out and do whatever. But I usually pile snow through this area in here. There you go. Now you can crow. Yeah. Here comes that mean chicken. We'll walk that way. We'll see. Watch him run away. Now you walk over there, there's nobody over there. Well, anyways, let's go down, let's check downstream at the tail race. We'll check that out, see how things are going. The water level here is a little slower than it was yesterday, which is good. Looking pretty good. Let's take our time and step down here slowly. After I fell that time, I learned to slow that down a little bit through there. I don't need to do that again. Look downstream this morning. Nothing has really changed a lot down through there. It is still what it is. We've got a little more. We're getting low on our tube, that green tube coming down there. The water level's getting down to the bottom of that again. So, which is understandable. It's that time of the year, and things are still waiting to catch up. We will see a couple days of deluge here shortly. I'm sure of it. When it does come, it'll come and keep coming. We'll think we'll never get out of the rain, and we'll forget all about the dry. Because that's what we do. We move on to the next thing, and whatever's happened at that time, we have short-term memory. We don't remember things like it was so dry in the spring. Need to get my trailer here moved out of here. Look, there's an egg. Yeah, I found some in here yesterday. The Easter egger likes to lay in here, so I don't know why. I have no clue, but she does. So we'll just let her do her thing and pick them out of there. I took some out, found some yesterday in there. This morning I did submerge them, float them, and they were fine. So we'll be taking those home. So that'll get 4 eggs out of that. I don't understand them. All right, well, we're running. Our water levels are good. Our kilowatts aren't great, but they are running. I suspect it's going to continue to run the rest of the day. I've got my coffee in hand. Best part of the whole job. I'm going to have to do some cleaning in the office at some point. This is probably coming up this weekend. Get things put away, rearranged, cleaned up a little bit. I suspect we're going to have a tour here shortly, so we'll do our diligence to get things cleaned up, prettified, and moved around so that there's room to walk and they can look at stuff and ask their questions. But anyways, so enough of that. You guys see what I've seen. It's a cloudy day. It's good. Looks like it's going to be cloudy all day, pretty much. But anyways, that's about all I've got. Hopefully the sun is shining where you're at, and you guys have a great day.